As part of an offseason full of roster turnover, the Pittsburgh Steelers moved on from Minkah Fitzpatrick and replaced him with Jalen Ramsey in the secondary. While Ramsey may be able to convert to safety, trading a safety and acquiring a cornerback does lead to some questions as to how the secondary will look going forward. If Ramsey stays at cornerback, Juan Thornhill and Deshaun Elliott will likely be the starting safeties. In his weekly chat for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Steelers insider Brian Batko gave his perspective on why Pittsburgh may have felt it was best to move on from Fitzpatrick. If the Steelers saw a Minkah Fitzpatrick who too often was essentially just keeping everything in front of him, then maybe they figure Juan Thornhill can do that for a lot less money. Especially with Deshaun Elliott making plays against the run and occasionally elsewhere in front of him, Batko wrote. Through the 2022 season, Fitzpatrick's ability to force turnovers was a massive help to the defense. From 2019 to 2022, Fitzpatrick recorded 20 turnovers, 17 of them being interceptions. He even led the NFL with 6 in 2022. However, the last 2 years haven't been the same. Fitzpatrick had no interceptions in 2023 and just one in 2024. While he still played excellent against the run, he was brutal defending the pass. Fitzpatrick allowed a 78.8% completion rate and a 127.6 passer rating when targeted last year. According to Pro Football Focus, each of those were career worst numbers. The Steelers will miss his run defense. But Deshaun Elliott should help negate what they're losing in Fitzpatrick, as Batko alludes to. Elliott had a terrific year in 2024, one that earned him a contract extension last month, shortly before Fitzpatrick was traded. While Fitzpatrick has a much more complete resume, the argument could be made that Elliott was a better player last year. Juan Thornhill, though, is much more of a question mark. He had a nice start to his career with the Kansas City Chiefs. However, he really struggled with the Cleveland Browns the past 2 seasons. Few Browns defenders made a real impact last year, but his struggles can't be denied. Thornhill allowed a 141.7 passer rating when targeted and missed 9.3% of his tackles last season. While Fitzpatrick became something of a franchise player in Pittsburgh, the Steelers may think a Thornhill-Elliott combination suits them better, especially at a cheaper price. That might not be all Fitzpatrick's fault, though. His reputation did cause teams to stay away from him in the passing game. That's likely part of the reason for his recent lack of interceptions. Maybe Thornhill can play the same role Fitzpatrick did last year. Even if he has a good season, though, it's hard to envision him being a big improvement. If the trade ends up being worth it for Pittsburgh, it's likely going to come from good performances from Ramsey. Thornhill could prove to be a solid addition, but asking him to completely replace Fitzpatrick could be asking a lot. Since being drafted in 2017, TJ Watt has been nothing short of sensational. He's the Pittsburgh Steelers' all-time sack leader, and he's also tied for the NFL single-season sack record. His eventual spot in the Pro Football Hall of Fame is cemented. Despite all of that, the Steelers still haven't signed Watt to a contract extension. That's led to some speculation about whether he could get traded. The 33rd team analyst Sam Monson recently gave his opinion on the situation, shooting down the idea of a Watt trade. Anytime a pass rusher is over 30, you start looking for signs of when are they going to start to decline, when are they not going to be that special again, Monson said Monday on his Check the Mic podcast. The year or 2 younger that Myles Garrett is, he's the right side of 30. It just makes it easier for you to convince yourself that we've got 3 for more years of elite Myles Garrett, we'll get through the whole contract. With TJ Watt, it's like, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll only get 2 years of elite Watt. And then he starts to decline. I think it's a difficult deal to get done. I do think that all this talk of trades and people calling up, absolutely call up, find out, but the answer will be no. There's no reason whatsoever Pittsburgh would trade him away. Watt is set to turn 31 in October this year, while Garrett won't be 30 until December. That slight difference might be enough to suggest that Garrett will have an extra year or 2 more in his prime than Watt. However, that's not guaranteed. Some people knock Watt for being injury-prone, but he's played in more games than Garrett. He also has more sacks, tackles for loss, interceptions, and forced fumbles. If Watt gets the kind of long-term deal that Garrett got, it's fair to wonder if he'll be as dominant as he has been throughout the entire contract. He's earned a payday similar to what Garrett received, though. Last year, what season didn't end with a bang? It was much quieter, what held without a sack for the Steelers' final 3 regular season games. However, that doesn't mean that he wasn't great in 2024. Watt still posted 6 forced fumbles and 11.5 sacks, a respectable stat line. Reports indicate that teams have called the Steelers about Watt's availability. Like Monson says, though, the Steelers have no reason to deal him. Unless Watt demands a trade and refuses, under any circumstances, to continue playing for the Steelers, they shouldn't let him go. The Steelers want to be Super Bowl contenders. Their moves this offseason prove that. Trading Watt, especially at this stage of the offseason, doesn't align with that goal. It would be almost impossible for Pittsburgh to replace him. Many of the NFL's best pass rushers have struggled to maintain their production into their 30s. J.J. Watt and Von Miller are good examples. However, it isn't impossible. James Harrison and Terrell Suggs were both still great players after turning 30. Perhaps Watt will follow in their footsteps. Paying him is a risk, but it's one that the Steelers should take. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in a position to make a bold move that could reshape their offensive identity for the coming season. With a reputation for physical football and a renewed focus on surrounding their quarterback with reliable playmakers, the Steelers have every reason to pursue a proven wide receiver who can thrive in high-leverage moments. Jauan Jennings, currently embroiled in a contract standoff with the San Francisco 49ers, emerges as the ideal target. Why Jauan Jennings is the right fit for Pittsburgh. Jauan Jennings is coming off a breakout campaign, posting 77 receptions for 975 yards and 6 touchdowns in 2024. He thrived as a starter, especially after Brandon Ayuk's season-ending injury, and proved himself as a dependable chain mover and red zone threat. Jennings' 6'3" frame, willingness to block, and toughness over the middle are tailor-made for the Steelers' brand of football. Pittsburgh's receiving core, while talented with the addition of DK Metcalf, lacks a consistent, physical presence who can dominate on third downs and in contested catch situations outside of Metcalf. The supporting cast aside from Metcalf remains unproven. Adding Jennings would not only elevate the offense, but also provide a veteran mentor for the team's younger receivers. San Francisco's front office faces a difficult decision. Jennings, entering the final year of his 2-year, $15.4 million contract, is demanding a new deal or a trade. With the 49ers' cap situation strained by recent extensions for Brock Purdy, George Kittle, and Fred Warner, and after trading Deebo Samuel, the team is balancing immediate needs with long-term flexibility. The 49ers are coming off a disappointing 6-11 season and are looking to retool around younger, cost-controlled talent. While Jennings is a valuable asset, his contract demands and the team's crowded receiver room make a trade increasingly likely if no new deal is reached before training camp. The perfect trade proposal. Here's the ideal trade package that would benefit both franchises. Steelers receive Jauan Jennings. 49ers receive 2025 third-round pick. Calvin Austin III. 2026 fifth-round pick. Who did George Kittle have a recent altercation with at the American Century Celebrity Championship?
Dwayne Johnson.
The Miz. John Cena. Pat McAfee. Jennings gives the Steelers a proven, physical wideout who can immediately slot in as a starter opposite DK Metcalf. His ability to win contested catches, block in the run game, and deliver in the red zone fills a glaring need in Pittsburgh's offense. The Steelers, with ample cap space and a desire to maximize their current window, can absorb Jennings' $7.5 million salary and offer him the extension he seeks. For the 49ers, this deal provides both immediate and future value. The third-round pick adds to their already substantial 2025 draft capital, giving them flexibility to address needs at defensive tackle, edge rusher, or offensive tackle. Calvin Austin III, still on his rookie deal, offers San Francisco a speedy, high-upside weapon who could flourish in Kyle Shanahan's creative scheme. The fifth-rounder offers further draft capital for the rebuilding 49ers. Most importantly, the Niners avoid a contract impasse and maintain roster flexibility. Steelers' offensive outlook with Jennings. Integrating Jennings into the Steelers' offense would be transformative. He projects as a go-to target on third downs and in the red zone, where his size and physicality create matchup nightmares. Jennings' presence would allow Metcalf to operate more freely as a deep threat, while other young receivers can develop without the pressure of being primary options. The Steelers' new play-caller Aaron Rodgers would benefit immensely from Jennings' catch radius, reliability, and toughness. His skill set aligns perfectly with Pittsburgh's vision of a balanced, physical offense capable of imposing its will late in games. With Jennings, the Steelers' passing attack becomes more versatile and less reliant on unproven talent, making them a more dangerous opponent for AFC defenses. San Francisco's willingness to move Jennings signals a commitment to reshaping the roster around younger, cheaper talent. The addition of Calvin Austin III gives the 49ers a dynamic, moldable receiver who could thrive in a system that values versatility and speed. The extra draft capital positions the 49ers to address pressing needs, whether in the trenches or in the secondary. This trade proposal represents a win-win for both organizations. The Steelers acquire a proven difference-maker who can elevate their offense and help them contend in a loaded AFC North. The 49ers gain valuable assets and avoid future cap headaches, all while maintaining a competitive roster. Jennings' physical style and big playability make him the perfect fit for Pittsburgh, while San Francisco's forward-thinking approach ensures they remain a factor in the NFC for years to come. If both sides are willing, this deal could set the stage for a transformative season in Pittsburgh and a new era in San Francisco. The time is right for the Steelers to strike, and for the 49ers to turn a contract impasse into a springboard for future success.